So you want to own a pickup truck, not to drive it, to run it as a business. Here's the strange part. The best-selling vehicle category in North America is also one of the only assets where the same purchase can make you $7,000 a year or $82,000 a year, and the truck itself barely changes. What changes is what you make it do. By the end of this video, you'll know what a truck actually costs once the government notices you're using it commercially, how a single haul can pay you $28 or $452 depending on one routing decision, and why thousands of operators bought the exact right truck at the exact right time and still went broke. Pickup trucks come in 5 weight classes, and the class you buy decides what kind of business you're even allowed to run. At the bottom, compacts. A Ford Maverick or Hyundai Santa Cruz runs $28,000 to $44,000. Light enough for urban courier work, fuel efficient enough that the math barely notices gas prices. Above that, midsize. Tacoma, Colorado, Ranger, Gladiator, $32,000 to $65,000. Contracting, inspection work, mobile trades. Then, full-sized half-tons. F-150, Ram 1500, Silverado 1500, $37,000 to $89,000. This is the default American truck. General contracting, light trailering, half business, half personal. Above that, heavy-duty 3/4 and 1-ton trucks, F-250, F-350, Ram 2500, $3,500, $46,000 to $85,000. This is where towing capacity crosses 35,000 pounds and where actual freight businesses live. At the top, medium-duty chassis cabs, F-450, F-550, Ram 4500, 5500, $62,000 to $95,000, built for specialized hauling most consumers would never need. Here's the first cost nobody warned you about. There's an invisible line at 10,001 pounds of gross vehicle weight rating. Cross it while operating across state lines, and the federal government stops treating you like a driver and starts treating you like a motor carrier. You now need a US DOT number, a medical certificate, an electronic logging device running $250 to $500 a year, and full compliance with hours of service rules. Buy the wrong truck for your business plan, and you've accidentally enrolled yourself in federal trucking law. Here's the second one. Insurance doesn't care what the truck costs. It cares what you're doing with it. A local contractor pays $3,000 to $4,800 a year. A new hotshot operator in their first 12 months of authority can be quoted $12,000 to $20,000, sometimes north of $30,000. The industry has a name for this, the new venture surcharge. You haven't caused a single accident, you're just new, and new is expensive. The entire freight side of this business runs on one number people misunderstand constantly: rate per mile. Except the rate that matters isn't the rate you're quoted. It's the rate you actually earn once you count every mile the truck moves, loaded or not. Say a broker offers you $650 to haul a load 208 miles. That looks like $3.13 a mile. Good day. But you had to drive 45 empty miles to pick it up, and there's no load waiting on the other end, so you drive all 208 miles back empty too. Total distance, 461 miles. True rate, $1.41 a mile. At an operating cost of $1.35 a mile, your $650 job nets you $27.65 for a full day's work. Now find a backhaul, a paying load for the return trip, say $425. Same 461 miles, now you've earned $1,075 total at $2.33 a mile, against the same $622.35 in costs. Net profit, $452.65. Same truck, same day, same distance. The only thing that changed was whether the trailer was empty on the way home. That's the entire business, compressed into one routing decision. Outside of freight, the mechanic is simpler. Utilization. A truck sitting in a driveway earns nothing. A truck listed on a peer-to-peer platform for home projects, moving jobs, and towing generates $600 to $1,200 a month in gross rental income, with platform managers typically keeping 30% and the owner the rest. Commercial fleets play the same game at scale. Enterprise doesn't just rent trucks, it cycles them out at target mileage and resells them retail through its own used car network instead of dumping them at wholesale auction. The truck is never just a tool, it's an asset with a resale curve, and every operator who makes real money is managing both ends of that curve, not just the rental income in the middle. The freight market runs in cycles, and the cycle doesn't ask permission. From 2022 through 2025, all-in operating costs for long-haul trucking sat around $2.07 to $2.27 a mile. During the same stretch, oversupplied spot markets were offering $1.50 to $1.80 a mile. That's not a bad month. That's losing money on every single mile, structurally, for years. Layer the insurance surcharge on top. An operator quoted $8,000 in year one can be hit with $18,000 in year two, an extra 12 to 15 cents a mile in fixed cost that didn't exist when they built their pricing model. Add fuel. It's 20 to 30% of total operating expense, and a loaded truck towing a heavy trailer gets 9 to 12 miles per gallon. A $1 jump in diesel adds $800 to $1,000 a month for a truck running 10,000 miles. None of this required the operator to make a mistake. The truck didn't get worse. The world around it did. Enterprise didn't start as a truck company. In 1999, it noticed businesses needed towing-capable trucks without committing to long-term leases, piloted the idea in 3 markets, and scaled its commercial truck division from 100 locations in 2007 to over 550 today, largely by chasing B2B accounts instead of retail renters. One client, a foundation repair company called Groundworks, grew its fleet from 170 to 1,700 almost entirely through Enterprise's model. It's not a truck business, it's a fleet management business that happens to use trucks. Then there's Lordstown Motors. Founded in 2019 to build an electric pickup for commercial fleets, it went public via SPAC in 2020 with a $5.3 billion valuation, propped up by more than 100,000 publicly touted pre-orders. In 2021, a short seller investigation found those pre-orders were largely fictitious, generated by brokers with no capital and no intent to buy. Production collapsed, a manufacturing deal with Foxconn fell apart, and by June of 2023, Lordstown was in Chapter 11. In 2024, it paid a $25.5 million SEC settlement for securities fraud. Same asset class as everything else in this video. 0 actual trucks moving actual freight. And then the quieter failure, the post-pandemic hotshot bubble. Thousands of independent operators bought heavy-duty trucks in 2020 and 2021 to chase elevated freight rates. When the market normalized and insurance premiums for new operators climbed past $15,000 to $20,000 a year, some formed what regulators started calling ghost fleets. A single carrier authority like Simplicium Transport LLC used across 801 roadside inspections, 46 states, and 675 different truck VINs, all writing one cheap insurance policy. Regulators dismantled these networks in 2024 and 2025. The trucks were fine. The business model was fraud, dressed up as thrift. A pickup truck is one of the most legible assets in American commerce. Everyone knows what it costs, what it tows, what it's worth used. And yet, operators with the right truck, the right rate, and the right timing still go under. Because the math that determines profit isn't the sticker price. It's deadhead miles, insurance renewal cycles, and whether spot rates happen to be above or below your cost per mile this quarter. The truck is the easy part. Everything attached to it is not. Take a modest version of this business, a 2026 Ford Maverick Hybrid, bought for $30,000, run as local courier and peer-to-peer rental. Gross revenue around $12,000 a year. Insurance, $3,000. Fuel, $1,200. Maintenance, $600. Total costs, $4,800. Net profit, $7,200 a year. Payback period, just over 4 years. Boring. Low risk, recession-proof in the sense that nobody's grocery money is riding on your deadhead miles. Now take the flagship version, a used 2021 Ram 3500 dually plus a 40-foot gooseneck trailer, $60,000 all in, running regional hotshot freight at 8,000 loaded miles a month. Gross revenue, $192,000 a year. Costs, fuel, $45,000. First-year insurance, $12,000. Debt service, $18,000. Maintenance, $8,400. Compliance and tolls, $6,600. Factoring fees, $9,600. Total, $109,600. Net profit, $82,400. Payback period, under 9 months. Also the scenario where one bad insurance renewal or one bad freight cycle turns that number negative. Buy the truck and the math is simple. Run the business and you find out the truck was never the hard part.